So today is March 23rd, 2025. I'm Ken Rabow, the lovely and talented Darren Collick. One of my amazing first degree mentors is with me. And today we're going to go through LMP 5 of Module 3. This is the final one. It's on anxiety. It's a huge thing. And what you want to do as an MIT who's watching this is you want to, as your last LMP, to do some checking to see if there is anxiety going on. And if there is anxiety, which there always is, we're going to want you to use the daily routine to do a few things that we're going to talk about today. So I'm just going to mention to you that you should write this down, MITs, that anxiety is covered in Module 1. I'm reading this off over here. I'll put it here so it looks like I actually know what I'm talking about. In Module 1, classes 2, 3, 4, and 5 are about the 5 forms of anxiety. Batman takes time dancing. And so Module 1, Class 2, 3, 4, and 5 are all about anxiety. Review them, and review them from time to time. As you work with me, you'll find that going back over them, you'll make sense of stuff when you have worked with mentees that will help you. And then the daily routine I want you to look at is in Module 2, Class 2, and then the very last one in Module 2, Class 12. Those are really, really great for working on the daily routines. And it'll talk about the magic of an empty daily routine. Sometimes we don't get to them. There are no things cast in stone. So everything I'm teaching you today, yes, anxiety is a real big problem and you need to work on it. You don't only use the daily routine. There's other ways. But what you're going to learn today will help you with your mentees with these issues. So we're going to talk about anxiety mitigation. We're going to talk about sleep-wake routine. We're going to talk about gut health, because it's the second brain and it can have a major impact on anxiety. And most of our guys eat horribly and sleep horribly, which affects their gut health, which also affects their anxiety. We're not gut health doctors. It's just another quiver in our, is that a good, yeah, a quiver to point at our target. Seems rather violent. Don't kill them. And those would be the pieces that we're going to talk about. I am going to mention a product that I use that I love, which is magnesium, but I think it's called magnesium citrate or calcite. I think it's citrate, and it comes in a form that fizzes. So I'll get to that. We're going to start with anxiety mitigation. So to do that, you have to be aware of the anxiety issues. And one way is, I'm just going to share a screen here now. And remember, at any time, Darren, you have questions, please do ask. Okay, so you all know that the daily routine begins with sleep time, night before, wake time. That means that today being Sunday, which is over here, if I went to bed last night, so you don't put this the day before, you put it here so we can see the whole sleep-wake routine. So let's say yesterday, I think I went to bed at about 11 p.m. and I was up at 6 p.m. Oops, wrong place. Wah, wah. And so that goes over here, 6 p.m. Now, for some of you, a good question is, when do you get out of bed? Oh, I get out of bed right away. Cool. Or, well, it depends on the day. Well, how late? Well, the latest would be like 3-4 hours. Okay. Then you might want to put wake time put out of bed as the next one. So for me, I was out of bed. I listened to a meditation for 15 minutes. So I'm going to guess I was probably, because I don't jump to listen to the meditation, I'll say 6:20, and that wasn't PM, that was AM. I didn't sleep that much. And that's 6:20, also AM, or AM. And we can put, if people have trouble with their sleep, they may, like a lot of young people have sleep apnea, or they're drinking at night, or they're smoking, or they're gaming too long. So for some, putting in feeling is fine. And so how did I feel when I woke up this morning? Felt good. these would be an idea. We only start with sleep time, wake time. These out of bed and feeling are only if you feel that they're necessary. Yeah, I'm going to leave this stuff in for the moment. And then at the bottom, so, we'll talk about some of the other things that we can add in a moment. But at the bottom, I'm going to put is anxiety an issue? No, anxiety is not an issue. Well, do you tend to have anxiety? Oh, yeah, all the time. It's not an issue. Why is it not an issue? Well, because I'm so used to it. I have it all the time. So if, like the floor, I would talk to Timmy or Tammy. The floor is where your anxiety stays during the day. So you might have a floor of 4 or 3 or 2, maybe exams at 5 or 6. And then, on bad times, it might be 7 or 8 or 9. Hopefully not, but, because then when it spikes, where do you go past 10? Unless your spinal tap and go to 11. What that means is we want to know what the floor is. So in the bottom here, I'll say anxiety, floor. And then below it, I'll say spike and event. So let's say right now everything's working with AdWords, so I don't have too much anxiety and my website design's going well. 2 weeks ago, I would say my anxiety was at an 8 because of those two things. Right now, I'm going to say it's about a 2. I've also been doing my meditation, and I haven't had anything that has spiked, but let's just say our website crashed. Okay, my anxiety would probably be a 9, and the reason would be website. So for our guys, it might be, their average is probably going to be, if we're lucky, 3 or 4. Let's say Timmy's is a 4. Sorry, it's no longer centered. And it spiked mom. So it spiked at 7. Mom yelled at me not taking Poopy for a walk. That's their dog, the imaginary dog. And so here you go. We have something that we would follow every day to see what the anxiety is. And remember that the first 2, 3, 4 weeks that you do a daily routine, they often don't do them, right? And so, if you see them once a week or see them twice a week, when you see them, say, because you have access to it, you see nothing's there. I don't even say anything. I'd say, hey, Timmy/Tammy, today is like Tuesday. Let's fill in today's daily routine. What time did you wake up? What time did you go to sleep? So we start putting things in that Timmy and Tammy can do. And we'll say, do you remember yesterday? Do you remember? I have no idea. Or, yeah, I do remember. Or, yeah, so I can fill out the whole week. Is it accurate? Well, I don't know. It's a guess. I'd rather you just fill in what's accurate. So I'm not giving them a heck. I'm getting them used to it. And then eventually what will happen is they'll go, oh, crumb, I'm seeing Darian tomorrow. I better fill in today. And you might get the Monday and the Tuesday, right? And then they might add Wednesday because they're still in the motivation. It's a process. So don't worry if this doesn't work right away. That's not what it's all about. And you MITs, remember, you're going to get a blank one that's only going to have sleep time, wake time. So you're going to ask about, do they get out of bed? You're going to ask how they're feeling. You're going to ask, do they have anxiety? That's going to be part of your LMP5. And, don't do it. Well, okay, Darian, you're now Timmy. Hi, Timmy. How's it going?
All right.
Oh, that's good. I can take all right. That's better than sucks. And, we want to do the daily routine, and I want to know if we should add just to monitor anxiety. So I was wondering, would you say anxiety is an issue sometimes for you?
Yes, it is.
Hmm. And there's a lot of young people who have it. You're just really not alone with that. I don't know if you know that, but no one asks their friends. But if you did, or you might even know some friends who are really anxious, it's a thing. If 5 is meh, 1 is not at all, and 10 is, oh my God, I need to like jump off a plane, where would you say your anxiety day to day kind of hovered? Let's say today, where would you say your anxiety? We're going to call that your floor.
My floor today is probably be about a 5 or 6.
Okay, that's not high, but it's up there. It's not a 7, so that's great. So 5 to 6. And is that your normal floor these days?
You know, I guess due to I just feel overwhelmed a lot, and yeah,
Mm,
so that's where I would, to be honest, myself, that's how I feel. Just feel like I can't get a hold of myself and get a hold of life. So yeah,
totally makes sense. We're going to do some exercises today, Timmy. What's called diaphragmatic breathing. You're going to find it helps you immensely. And if we have time today, we're going to do a grounding exercise. And eventually, I want us to do that. Have you ever heard of this product called Natural Calm? You can get it in Amazon.
no,
Okay, it's magnesium citrate, I believe, and it's like a 1 teaspoon, not a tablespoon, or you'll crap yourself. 1 teaspoon in boiling water, and you just put a little bit of water because it fizzes like crazy. You let it fizz, and then once it calms down, you can put cool water. You don't have to drink it hot. A lot of my guys like raspberry lemon. I take the plain one. People seem to love the raspberry lemon. That's fine. And if you take that once or twice a day, it'll also drop that floor by 1 or 2 points. And as long as your stool doesn't get loose, you shouldn't crap yourself. That would be the worst thing that could happen with this stuff. It's really good. If you take a lot of, do you take a lot of meds, Timmy?
no. I take no, not that I can recall. No,
Okay.
pretty
So
good.
you're not like on prescription meds with the doctor. Okay,
No.
if you were, I'd be asking you to check with the doctor to be double sure. But in this case, try it, and it takes about 3, 4, 5 days for it to kick in. That might drop your floor by 1 or 2 points. Our breathing that we're going to show you today will help you, and then eventually we'll do the grounding. And what I'd also like you to check out, Timmy, is like if there's anything in the day, like if you can think in the last couple of days where something spiked your anxiety. Like, was there a situation that came across that kind of made you more anxious? Place you had to go, or something someone said?
This school has been
Yeah,
a
that'll do it.
challenge.
Right,
Studying, trying to stay
right,
focused, and but again, just I just feel so overwhelmed.
right.
You get
I'm going to argue that that's still the floor, but like, do you spike during tests or papers? Is that a thing that happens?
that's you know what? Can you? Yes, I do. Thank you. Yeah, that is a good point. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want you to keep an eye on that. And if, let's say, there's like 2 or 3 days before your paper or test that it spikes, let's write that down. And what I'm going to suggest to you is we're going to start working on together on your portal with what's called a warm app. And that's where we prepare way in advance all the things coming up because teachers don't know what other teachers give you. And you may have like 5 things on 2 or 3 weeks because I used to be a middle school teacher and I didn't check in with other ones, but I knew, oh crap, I had to give them my grades on this date. So the week or two before is when I piled on all the stuff to do for
Right.
my students in music. But every other teacher was doing the same thing, and we don't check in with each other. One day AI will do it, but so we want to look at it, and we also want to look at warm apps to bring that down, but to check it out. So I'm gonna, Timmy, bye, Timmy. So now we're back to you, and you can see how I do this. And
Yeah.
MIT's listening, and Darian, you see how I bring it up. This is never about judging. It's never about. We never want to be an inquisitor, right? We're Columbo. We're a
Yeah.
curious detective. And you see my responses. So anyone listening, please go back. I don't know what the numbers are of that. Please go over that little piece, and that's going to help you. So we've talked about this. I'm going to unshare this so it's just you and I right now. Do you have questions about it so far, Darian?
The question about
Or
natural
comments?
calm. Yeah, the natural, I'm not too familiar with that. And I guess working with somebody that, if they are really anxious with that, trying to get the right measurement and things like that, with that, how
It's
do you
simple, silly. As long as you don't crap yourself, a flattened teaspoon, not tablespoon,
right?
once or twice a day, as long as it doesn't do loose stools, will do the job. Let me just find it on Amazon, Amazon.com. But you have to be with someone long enough. They're going to trust you to tell them something.
Right.
And ultimately, you email the mom or dad, whoever it is you're speaking with,
Right.
and you suggest that this is something that they should get. Here it is. So I'm just going to share screen again. This is Natural Calm, Amazon.com. My guys love raspberry lemon. Whatever flavors they've got, there's usually different flavors. You can go to the store. It looks like this. And it really helps. I take it regularly, and I find it helps immensely. So it's good for us mentors too.
Yeah.
Natural Calm. So let me close that. And now for the MITs, I'm going to talk about the things that I want you to bring in. So we've established with a daily routine or in any other way you want to, where they are with anxiety when you feel comfortable. Because if you have fires to put out, like your present mentee, he had girlfriend problems, he had a new job. So I don't know how quick you can run to the daily routine or anxiety. Have you talked about anxiety with him?
Yes. Have it on the daily routine.
Oh, wonderful.
So we are working with that to help be more consistent with, filling that out
Excellent.
on when we do meet.
So when he shows up, when the diaphragm, and you've been doing great at getting the mom involved, getting him involved, and that's not easy, and good on you. And especially it's like your first long-term mentee. So trial by fire, you see what it's like. Everything we've taught you is there, but then you need to learn. And I love that you bring up this stuff at our mentor rounds to ask questions, and you always have access to me and all the other resident mentors for that. So the first thing I want to talk about that really, really helps, have you tried diaphragmatic breathing with him?
I haven't got to that yet. It's on the list, and
You're putting out fires, so that's totally cool, and I get that. So I'm just gonna go through it as if you haven't done it. So back to Timmy. Timmy, unless you want to be Tammy, you have to put on a dress though. Don't do it. Trump won't like it. So, no politics, no politics. So, Timmy, I wanted to show you a way to help calm yourself. And to do this, pause. Are you able to, is your floor okay that you could move the camera and show me your floor? I know you're like kind of in the basement or something, or would it be really a mess?
yeah, I wouldn't be.
Okay.
I wouldn't be able to do
Right.
that.
So we would hope that Timmy would be able to do that. You're going to cheat and you're going to do what I do, which is
Uh, can't hear you. I can't.
Zoom. So my fancy microphone cacked out, so we paused and we're back. So again, I'm going to stand, and normally I'd ask you to lie down, and I want this not to move because a lot of people do that when they breathe, and we want them to do it from their belly. So I want, in my case, my left hand to go out. I really like extend and then bring it back to natural. So this doesn't move. That time this did move a little. And that's a diaphragmatic breath. And we want eventually that it's like on four, or count of 4 or 5 or 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to hold it and then exhale for 5. 1, 2, 3. So now I'm back to normal. And ideally you want Timmy or Tammy to lie on the floor, be able to see their tummy and their chest, have a hand on there. So we're back to Timmy. So Timmy, I understand you can't lie down, so we're going to try this the way you just saw me do it. I want you to stand up and turn sideways. Perfect. Now I want you to put one hand like between, kind of right there, and I want you to put your right hand lower on your belly button. Okay? I want you to breathe through your nose into your tummy so that your right hand moves and your left hand doesn't. Are you ready? Take a nice deep
Yes.
breath on me. Here we go. One. So that was all your chest. That was all up there on your left hand. Your tummy didn't move. This is why it really, really helps to do this lying down. But let's try it one more time. Here we go. Breathe in. Perfect. Now hold that. Now exhale through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. And now exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now hold your breath for a sec. I want you to take it. So just relax for a moment. We're going to do it again. I want you to take longer to breathe in. So don't do it so fast. Do it slower. Are we ready? Exhale. Exhale. Breathe out. And now inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Exhale slowly through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. Okay, come sit down. And so Darian asked Timmy, did you feel a little difference or was it a little too sudden to make sense?
I've worked it. It does work, and I felt it, and it's a process of calming. Like I said, the more you do it, your body does get centered. So yeah,
Absolutely. And even if our guys will just do even 3 breaths or 5 breaths or 10 breaths
right.
once or twice in the day, we start to reduce the floor. And it's really like you right away, you did it from the chest. You could see
Yeah,
this coming up. And this is why we need to lie down. I didn't prep you for that. My apologies. But most of our guys, once they move the 8,000 pieces of old and new laundry on their floor, can usually find a piece of floor. If you're with a woman, a girl mentee, you have to decide if you feel comfortable with them, doing this exercise. But I've never had a problem. I'm very, very,
yeah.
professional, but everyone decide how they feel for themselves. It should not be an issue, but if you think it is, then don't have them do it lying on the floor. If they lie on the floor and do it, or they can lie on the floor and you just see the tummy, or they can lie on the floor and they don't lower the camera. But pretty much if you can, you want to see them do it because, like you, most will do it wrong, and they breathe up here, which is called shallow breathing, which is telling your body, "I'm being chased by a saber-toothed tiger." Thank you, Fred Flintstone. Panic, right?
Right.
And so when we can get them to do this, and then what they'll do is they say, "Oh, I haven't done it for a few days because I wasn't anxious." We don't want you doing it when you're anxious. We want you to do it when you're not anxious so your body can learn to believe in it so that when you're anxious, you can start using it. So that's a typical thing you'll get them to do. And what we would then, once we had practiced that, let me just see if oh no, I closed it. I'm going to open a new window and I'm going to bring back that daily routine we just did. So I'm going to pause while I find it. So now I'm going to share that daily routine again, which I erroneously closed. And we're going to say, okay, well, now that we've done that, we're going to put I always have trouble spelling this, pragmatic breathing, or breathing, breathing. And I just want you to do 5 to 10 breaths, 2 to 3 times. And just to make it clear, I'm going to write breaths. Breath. And by the way, here's a cheat. Breaths. I'm just going to drag the left side of this over.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, it's not going to let me. Oh, you bad. There we go. Breath. Okay. Just to make it clean, right?
Yeah.
And remember, they're going to make copies of the daily routine, but this is our master. And by the way, this will become called O1 Master Daily Routine. And the reason we number it O1 is eventually when you start doing, like with your client, God willing, he starts getting good and doing well, and you start doing more fancy stuff, make a new daily routine so that you have You can track over time if you have someone 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, some of them 2 years or 3 years, you can see their progress. And so that's how I would add the diaphragmatic breathing once I taught it. And this is to teach the MITs as well. In your LMP5, we're going to want you to do a short version of this. Remember, you're doing a fake 1 hour that's probably 30 to 40 minutes, because you do have 45 minutes in total with your live mentor coach or the person testing you. But, do a shorter version. Okay, I'm going to unshare that. And so we've done the diaphragmatic breathing, and now we're going to do the grounding. Now, the grounding is just me doing a 5-minute exercise, and I'm going to record it. And then, Darian, I'm going to ask you to remind me to send it to you and to keep this in our folder. So you, as the MITs, will have this grounding exercise that you can do. It's a 5-minute exercise. And so, back to Timmy. Timmy, have you ever heard of grounding exercises?
No, no, I haven't.
Yeah, right. A lot of people haven't. You're not alone.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing. So when we talk about anxiety, a lot of time we're anxious because we're always in our head. We're on our screens, we're looking at computers, we're looking at our phones, we're thinking about stuff, we're seeing stuff, we're reading stuff. And so we're so much in our heads, we're not in our bodies. And you may have heard someone say, oh, he's like all in his head, or he's just
Yeah.
not grounded.
Right.
So this is grounding. The idea is to get us back into our bodies. The first way we do that, Timmy, is with the diaphragmatic breathing. And that's a great way to get back into your body, right? You could feel it when you
Right.
did it. Good. And so the next way we do it is a grounding exercise. And I have this recording from the guy who created this program, Ken Rabow, doing this 6 minute grounding exercise. And we're going to do it now. I'm going to put the recording on. I want you in a moment to close your eyes and just follow what he says and get through it. Now, I'll tell you that the first times I do the grounding exercise, I find my mind's floating all over the place and I'm not concentrating. That's okay. Every time you find you're lost, just come back when you can. And it's okay to lose your concentration and think about stuff. Just come back wherever you are and follow where Ken is helping you in the grounding exercise. Would you like to try it now?
Yes, I would like to. Yeah,
Okay, great.
sounds pretty good.
Excellent. So I'm pausing because I'm actually going to record it so that you MITs and you, Darren, can have a copy of it. Do, do, do. Okay, well, that sucked. And just follow the instructions. Grounding exercise. So find a comfortable place, either lying on your back or sitting on a chair with your palms face down on your thighs. If you feel comfortable, close your eyes and just follow my direction. First, take a nice deep breath in through the nostrils if you can, and then breathe out through your mouth. Good. Breathe in again nice and deeply through your nose, and then breathe out through your mouth. And I want you to keep breathing slowly in and out. And as you breathe in any quality you like. Relax, calm, peace, and feel it filling you up from head to toe. So imagine as you breathe in calm, you're feeling calm wash all over you, all through you, calmness. And then exhale, letting go. Keep doing that for a few moments. Now, keep doing that, and as you exhale, let go of anything you wish to let go of. Tension, nervousness, whatever it is, feel it breathing out with you, exhaling, and let it leave your body for a moment. Breathe in whatever it is you wish to bring in, like calmness. And exhale whatever it is you wish to let go of for 1 or 2 moments. Now keep breathing and tune into yourself. Answer these questions in your mind, not out loud. How are you feeling? How is your body feeling? What kind of energy is in your body? Just relax and accept it all. Simply be conscious of it. And imagine that as you exhale, you're letting go of everything you do not need. Breathe in any good quality you like to fill yourself up with. And exhale that which you wish to let go of. Keep doing this for a few moments. Now I want you to be aware of the soles of your feet if you're sitting or if you're lying down, and your tailbone. And just focus on those two energies and imagine those places, and imagine a golden energy at the soles of your feet and at your tailbone. That golden light is your grounding cord. And imagine them going through the floor, combining almost like a braid, going through the floor, going deeper and deeper, down through whatever your place you're at, down through the foundation. Feel your grounding cord going down through the cool earth. Feel your grounding cord going past the roots of trees. You can greet them if you wish. Down through the bedrock all the way to the center of the earth. Feel the heels of your feet and your tailbone, the grounding cord going all the way through the earth to the center. Now imagine through that grounding cord from the core of the earth sending you healing, calming, grounding energy going up the grounding cord, past the bedrock, past the roots of the trees, past the cool earth, up through the floor, right into your legs and your tailbone, going through your calves, your knees, your thighs, your hips and everything in between, up through the spinal column and through the torso, through your arms, up through the neck, the head, and this golden light, this grounding light going out of your head, out into the universe. So all the way from the earth, through the grounding cord, through your body, up into the universe, with this beautiful golden energy. Just enjoy it for a few moments. Now feel this universal purple energy, this universal energy of inspiration, of guidance, above your head, mixing with the golden energy of grounding. See them joining. Feel the flow from the earth up to the universe of the golden energy, and now the universal energy, this purple energy, is flowing with your crown, going into your head, the two of them mixing. The universal going through your throat, mixing through your torso, down through your hips and everything in between, through your thighs, your calves, your feet. And now through your grounding cord, the purple energy is going down all the way down to the earth. So you feel this beautiful golden energy coming up through the earth, through you up to the universe. and the universal energy going through above you, through your body, down through your grounding cord, and feel these two mixing and blending and healing you, lightening you. Feel this for the next few moments. Now it's time to thank the earth for giving you this grounding exercise, and let it detach from the golden center of the earth, and you feel the grounding cord coming up past the bedrock, past the roots of the trees, past the cool earth, through the floor and into your legs and into your tailbone. And thank the universal energy for giving you inspiration and hope. Detach and feel it coming all the way down into your head. But feel these two energies still moving around, energizing every part of you, cleaning out any little cobwebs or negative energy. In a moment, I'll count from 1 to 5, and you'll return to full consciousness, feeling awake, energized, calm, relaxed, feeling very, very good. All right, here we go. 1. Slowly and easily, you're returning to full consciousness once again. 2. Every muscle, nerve, and fiber in your body is vibrating to the grounding energy and the universal energy. On the 3, feeling very good, emotionally, mentally, and physically calm and relaxed. On the number 4, your eyes are beginning to feel energized, getting ready to wake. On the next number, you'll open your eyes, take a deep breath, and stretch. 5, open your eyes, take a deep breath, and stretch. Very good. So how was that for you?
That was remarkable.
Thanks. I've been doing that for a while.
Yeah.
It's very powerful. And I'm just making so I'm writing the name Grounding by Ken Rabow. I'm going to send it as an email to you at your groovywim.org. Darren Colic at wim.org. Grounding exercise. And you MITs listening at home, you'll get a chance for this too. It should be in our list of stuff we sent you. And this should be on its way, hopefully. So let me know if you get it. If not, let me know in the next hour or so. So that is the grounding exercise. We've done the diaphragmatic breathing, we've done the grounding, we've done the natural calm. The next two things that will change anxiety more than anything else in your mentee's life is their sleep routine and their wake routine. Really, it's a sleep routine. And what is a sleep routine? It's when you go to bed and when you wake up. And everyone will say, oh, I don't have a sleep routine. Trust me, you have a sleep routine. Everyone has it. It may be watching 800 videos or doom scrolling, but we all have it. And we want to first be aware of it. And so the first thing we often ask our mentees is to track it. And if they're going to bed really late and there's a lot of issues, we're going to suggest to them that they charge their phone not next to their bed, but on the other side of the room or just out of arm's reach. And so here's the danger. You tell them to put the charger on the other side of the room, and they do. And then you say, so if you've been selling your phone, oh yeah, I'm selling my phone. Also, put your charger on there about a half hour before you're ready to go to sleep. And so we want to do that. And then we talk about closed-ended soothers and open-ended soothers, ways to go to sleep. So an open-ended soother is TikTok or anything like that where you can just keep doom scrolling. It could be YouTube because next video coming kind of thing, or Netflix or any of those kind of things. Those are open-ended soothers. A closed-ended soother could be like if you download Family Guy or whatever it is that you like, so you have a discrete episode that you have to click on. So the next one doesn't automatically come. It could be a book, which a lot of our Gen Zs love hardcover books. So if they're into that, do that. If they're not, it could be music. Obviously, we don't want death metal or stuff like that. We want calming stuff. And there's also, I don't think people do this. Millennials did this more. There was these videos, extremely satisfying videos or something like that. You people in the audience may have a better name for it. And it's like people like dropping honey or just doing these things on videos. They're very calming and they were huge a while ago. I haven't heard about them recently, but if they're still there, that kind of thing. So we want to talk about that. Let's go back to our daily routine. And I'm going to share this with you guys. And you'd be actually sharing it like Timmy would be. No, actually, no. I share mine. Oh, no, of course. We see it together because we're sharing the wim.kr.smith.timmy once.
Correct.
He's seeing it. Right. I forgot. So, Timmy, you did great on that grounding. Would you like to try doing that a couple of times a week?
Yes.
Great. So I'm just going to put it like this, grounding exercise. And I'm going to say, I don't know, how many times a week would you like to do it?
We'll try 3.
I think that's great. How about we say 2 to 3 times a week? And if you do it more, great. If you do it less, and I'm also going to say, put the time and feel. How did it feel? So today we did it. I think you're also Eastern, right? So around 11:30 in the morning. How did it feel?
It's
One word.
one good.
Good. So you would put that in. You would say Monday, 11:30, good, and that's what we put in. So you don't have to put Monday because it's already there. We put 11:30 a.m. and say good, and that's how we would add this. And for the MITs, again, you might pretend you've done the grounding in your LMP practice with your coach. So we'll say pretend grounding, and then just say the follow-up that I just did, and then put it in. So we've put these things in. I think we're also going to put in natural calm.
Yes.
Natural calm, and that's AM. And you could do it, so we might even do this. We might put the natural calm AM up here if they're cool doing it twice a week, and I mean twice a day, and put up here PM. And they remember we never put X's or no's. If they didn't do it, just leave it blank, but you get the idea. And then we want a nighttime routine. So I'm actually going to put the nighttime routine here. And the nighttime routine, first of all, is phone in charger. That's a yes or no. And what would you like to do, Timmy, going to bed? Would music be better, or would you like to read a book? Which one would be good for you at night?
Book.
Okay. And do you have a favorite book right now that you like to do, or is there a favorite book you're doing right now?
Uh, I like the coloring book helps me calm me down.
Beautiful. And how much time do you spend on it when you read?
Um, about 15 minutes.
Perfect. So we'll say 15 minutes. And so again, you just take it off if you did it. And this way, as you guys see, we're starting to set up the sleep routine and the kind of things that will help with our anxiety. The last one is one I've only recently discovered that helps massively for our mentees, and that's gut health. And so most of our guys eat horribly. They don't eat breakfast. And so how do we get good gut health, and what is good gut health? Good gut health, first of all, means less refined sugar, less refined flour. I mean, there are so many things you can find on YouTube and other places about gut health. And I'm not a medical doctor. I can't really go into this. I'll allow you to do this. But simply, if we can get most of our guys, I mean, intermittent fasting is well and good. But if we have someone who has anxiety, I would love to get them eating in the morning. And eventually, I'd like them to have a nice protein, whether it's a couple of eggs, whether it's Greek yogurt, whether it's sour cream mixed with, so almond butter, or most of our guys know peanut butter, almond butter is so much better. You could have some frozen berries in there, and by the time you finish with this, they're melted, so you don't have to worry are they moldy or not. A bunch of eggs. None of them will eat this at the beginning, so it could be friggin' Count Chocula. I'm happy. It could be a white sea bagel with peanut butter. I'm cool with it. Whatever would get them starting to eat in the mornings is a great beginning. And so then we also want to see a lot of our guys just won't eat, and they won't eat for a couple of days, especially if they're ADHD or if they're neurodivergent, if they're on the autistic spectrum or ADHD. There's other people who are neurodivergent. Those are the two main ones. Eating is a chore, and sometimes it's problematic. And so getting that consistent is another piece. So our last one is we're going to try to get breakfast, and we're going to try to chart lunch and dinner. That's all we do at the beginning. So we're back to good old Timmy. So Timmy, as I was telling you, I wanted to look at what's called gut health. That could really help with anxiety. It just means eating in a more healthy way. And so what I'd like to do, if you're cool with it, I'd like to, do you have a lot of snacks during the day?
Yes, yes, I do.
Okay. And what are your favorite snacks?
Potato chips.
Potato chips. What else?
Um,
Is that your big one?
that's the main one.
Okay. Um, would you, and what is it you like? You like the saltiness? Like, is it one of the flavored ones, or just the salt you like, or the crunchiness, or the oil?
I like Lay's, if you're familiar with Lay's,
Right,
the
right.
plain ones. The plain ones are barbecue. I like
Okay.
them.
So kind of it's the salt and the crunchiness that you enjoy.
Yeah.
Would you ever eat, would you eat pretzels? Is that something you'd consider, salted pretzels?
They're not my go-to, but I like them.
Okay, so I'd like you to track how often you have chips, and maybe, if you do the ordering, great. If not, ask your mom to get you pretzels,
Okay.
chips or pretzels, and let's just track that for a little bit. The other thing I'd like to do is in the morning, how often do you eat breakfast?
Uh, rarely. I'm not a breakfast
You're not a
person.
breakfast. I get that. When you eat, like, what would you love in the breakfast? Like, was there something you ate when you were a kid that you really enjoyed? You know,
Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch, like Breakfast of Champions.
Yeah.
Captain, because it's a crunch. So, and you had that with milk. And I guess you didn't need sugar. Did you add sugar to your Captain Crunch?
No, I
Oh,
didn't.
good. Okay, that's good because it is sugar. So I'd be cool with Captain Crunch in the morning. I want to get you starting to eat in the morning. It will help the gut health. It'll help us getting food regularly. But what would be a slightly healthier version? Would you ever eat eggs in the morning?
Eggs, yeah, I like eggs.
Okay, sweet. What about like a whole wheat bagel or a bagel with peanut butter or almond butter?
I'm willing to try it.
Okay. Bagel, would it be peanut butter?
Just butter.
Okay, sweet. You can toast it. So there are some options that you could work on. And I think what we'll also do is we're just going to also I'd like us to track, you do have lunch, or do you have lunch?
Not always. Lunch, um,
Okay.
I don't think
And
about it much.
right. And then you have dinner because your mom makes dinner when they're there, right?
Yes.
Okay. So how about we do this? We're going to track your breakfast, and we're going to try to see if we can get that going. And if we don't, we don't, but we'll try. We want to see if you have lunch and what you eat and what you have for dinner. So I'm going to put when and what, and we'll do that for dinner. And so, end of Timmy, poor Timmy. And what you want as an MIT is this is kind of what we want you to do in your LMP and to practice this. Okay, I'm a master level mentor. I've been doing this for 24 years now. I don't expect you to do it the way I've done it, but here's a good example of how it could be done at its best. And Your mentee isn't going to go, wait, Ken doesn't do it like that. Like, you are their mentor, and all of this is like cool stuff they've never thought of before. So
Right.
don't try to be me, try to be the best you, whoever you are, MIT. Darian, do you have any questions on what we've done so far?
No, this is very good. I don't have anything come to mind at this time.
And do you think it would be helpful for you to have an image of this final one in the stuff that we give the MITs? So we'll have the video, we'll have the grounding exercise. Should they also have this doc, do you think?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay,
Visual, hearing, I think all aspects
right
will help.
on,
You
right
know,
on. I like that. That's really wise. Thank you. So, any other questions, sir?
no, not at this time.
Anything you want to say to the MITs panicking about their final live mentor practice before they become before they become a professional mentor? Any words of advice or relaxation or calmness you want to share with them?
Uh, just go through the process. I think the big thing is be yourself, and that's how you really grow. And just take the critique, just be yourself, and embrace the process.
Well said. And you made it through, right?
Yes, I made it through.
And now you're mentoring. How's it feel to be one of our mentors at our mentor rounds?
It's it's um, it's challenging, it's rewarding, and I say challenging in a way of just growth.
Yes.
It's growing and helping somebody become the better version of themselves.
Beautiful.
So for me, it's a blessing. I'll put
It
it out.
is. I always feel that. I think we have the best gig in the world.
Yes, yes, we do.
Well, thank you for doing this, Darian. And good luck to all you MITs out there. We'll be seeing you soon. And that ends the recording.